This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so we can start our session now. So here, one of the most demanding stuff in today's IT. Okay, so everywhere they are, whether they are in development area, whether they are in operation side, whether they are in testing side. So for all the verticals, with respect to development, with respect to infrastructure, with respect to operation teams like database administration, storage admin, and then with respect to testing team. So if there is a one technology which provides abundant opportunity with respect to job placement decision, here it is DevOps. Then what is DevOps? So why we need to go for DevOps? So what's the problem that we are faced with the current approach? Then how those problems has been resolved by using tools, automated tools of DevOps that we will discuss. So DevOps is a culture. We can consider DevOps is a culture using which both development, if you take any application development up to application implementation, two set of teams will play a role. Two set of teams. One is a development team. Can you able to view my screen? Second one is operation team. These are two set of teams which involves in making application accessible to the client from the day of development up to delivery. In terms of development team, what we have a business analyst. We have a business analyst whose role is to interact with the client and get the requirements with respect to client's need. Okay, and then convey the requirement to the development team. Based upon the development team will do the activity. So BA, business analyst, followed with we have developers, and then the developers has been governed by architects. Architects in sense we have UI architect, you have a so backend database architects, we have okay architects for the corresponding business logic architects like Java, .NET Tech. Okay, so this the architect team, and then developers, and we have QA testers. Okay, so and then we have build engineers, CI/CD build engineers. So these are all the people which forms the part of development team. So the role played by the development team here is to develop the application, to develop the code for application and test the code for application. If everything is perfect, then the build engineer's responsibility is to build the artifact. Okay, this is not the executable version of that application. They will make it the executable version of application. We call this as a CI/CD. Okay, continuous integration and continuous delivery. And once it is ready, my application is ready to be implemented, then it comes to the role of operation team. Then we have a network admin who takes care of entire networking, and we have a inter-networking admin. So the internet-working admin guy, the responsibility of that guy takes care of routing and switching. So it takes care of configuring routers and layer 3 switching, by which our application can be exposed to globally through internet. Okay, so then we have a storage team, SAN team. So storage SAN team which takes care of the storage requirement of our data which is generated by application SAN team. And we have a DBA database team, the DBA database administrator, who takes care of administrating the entire database that is associated with our applications. Okay, so these are all the teams. So here the network admin, system admin, we call network and system admin, whose responsibility is to make the infrastructure ready. The operation team's responsibility is to make the infrastructure ready, and then when the application has been developed, and that application need to be set up with the infrastructure. Okay, this is our infra with the needed servers. Okay, and then that infra with the needed storage capacity, and these are all the teams which forms the part of it. Here these two teams normally, as of now, if we go for agile, if we go for a traditional application development using waterfall, So these two teams have been working in isolated with each other. The reason, okay, so the way by which they are isolated. So what is happening on the operation side is less aware to development team, and what happens in the development side is less aware to operation team. Therefore, there's a tussle, even though there is a tussle. Okay, in case if a client is facing issues with respect to accessing applications, the development team convey that everything is perfect on their side. It's the operation team. Operation team will revert back to development team. That's happening here. To overcome from that, so DevOps will provide us a culture, okay, with a set of some automated tools, which makes this development team and that operation team healthy handshaking. Okay, both works in coordination with each other. What is happening in development team is aware to operation team, and what's happening in operation team is aware to development team. By the way of working in coordinated manner, so the overall aim in developing that application and with a high efficiency, with a less cost, with the minimum resources can be achieved by using this DevOps. Okay, so this generic overview of DevOps. What is DevOps? DevOps is a, you can consider DevOps is a culture. DevOps uses some set of automated tools using which we can able to develop the application in a high with a high efficiency. First factor with the high efficiency, and more importantly, with the minimum resources, with the minimum number of resources. If the resources involved minimum, then cost also with the less cost. Cost will be also reduced to great extent. And then the performance, there is no degradation in performance with a very high efficiency in terms of the performance and in terms of all factors that application will ensure high efficiency by developing using minimum resources and as a whole less cost. And how it is possible? How it is possible? Developing application very fast with the minimum resources and with less cost by using some, instead of involving everything manually, by using some set of automated tools. By using some set of automated tools, we can able to develop and deliver the application with the above set facilities, above set features. That DevOps going to be in DevOps curriculum, we are going to be discussed roundly about 10 to 12 automated tools. So there are several tools. So our curriculum going to deal with around 10 to 12 automated tools, using which how you can able to develop and how you can able to implement this application in automated manner. That's what that we are going to give you an overview. So what's the problem that we faced in traditional approach? Then how it has been resolved in Agile, and what we are facing in Agile, how it is resolved in DevOps. That overview is going to be discussed today. Is it? So here, this DevOps instance, all these team, all these members of the team, so will have a role. Each and everyone will have a role, not a physical role. With the help of these automated tools, certain roles has been mapped with the automated tools. So we no need of network admin, we no need of a storage admin, we no need of a server administrator. Everything can be done by using set of tools like infrastructure as a code. We can make use of tools like Ansible. We can make use of tools like Chef Buffer, and then so using these tools, the infrastructure which is needed. So what we need actually, so we need a server. We need a server where your applications along with that operating systems and applications and all the dependencies with respect to applications need to be installed. So that's so here if the load increases, what we need, you need to add additional server. Okay, you need to have a two server, and then if there are two servers, then you need to configure load balancer, and you need to configure auto scaling. So everything you need a manual intervention. You need a manual intervention. You need a separate people to take care of everything. So in this case, instead of doing manually, what we can do, if we make use of tools like Ansible, Chef, Puppet, okay. So along with this, if you are using a cloud like AWS and cloud formation stuff, so those things can be done. Whether you want to configure 10 servers or 100 servers or 10,000 servers is not a matter. Across the globe, you want to configure 10 servers for US. You want to configure 2000 server for India. You want to configure 500 servers for UK, whatever may be, wherever may be, within a single click, you can able to do those things within a fraction of second using this IaaC, infrastructure as a code tool. So nowadays, since this infrastructure has been established across multiple clouds, you may have your DB server in Oracle Cloud. You may have your application server running in Azure Cloud. You may have your load balancer. You may have your auto scaling running in your AWS Cloud. Everything, all these things being a different heterogeneous environment, all these can be brought under a single umbrella using tools like Terraform, using tools like multi-cloud orchestration tools like Terraform. Using this set of tools, we can able to make it this entire thing with the above set key factors: efficiency, minimum resources, and less cost. Okay, this is an overview of what how DevOps makes the application development easy and fast. Okay, just an overview. So in terms of the definition, what is DevOps? So DevOps is a set of practices, okay, that combines software development and IT operations. The main aim, it aims to shorten the system development life cycle and provide continuous delivery with high quality software. And continuous delivery with high quality software means then here with minimum cost. It is the cost, the resources should not be more. The cost should not be increased with the minimum resources, and with the minimum, as a result, the cost, overall cost for development is very less. Okay. The DevOps, you can consider DevOps a complementary with agile software development. Okay. So why agile is not a software efficient in DevOps? Let me discuss. The primary goal of DevOps is to develop the application in the minimum time and deliver to the client, so with the maximum efficiency and with less cost. Okay, so that is DevOps. So to be a
Can you say a few words about agile software development, just to make it picture clear?
I will let you know. No issue. I will let you know. So it is a combination of cultural philosophies, practices, and more importantly, the tools that increases an organization's ability to deliver applications and services, so at a maximum efficiency with the minimum cost. Okay, so here it is a combination that increases to deliver applications with high velocity and then evolving and improving products at a faster pace than using traditional software development and infrastructure management processes. Okay, so whether DevOps need coding? The answer is no. If you want to do a automated script, then you need to know certain base coding. Okay, so programming skills are required for all development approaches. DevOps engineer maintain a unique set of coding responsibility. So they may have an idea of some scripting languages, familiar of scripting languages here. So like base bash script, JavaScript. So we will be here dealing with one scripting language while we deal with the Jenkins. Okay. So in Jenkins, so we will be dealing with some scripting. Similarly, while going up with this infrastructure as a code, I will let you know how to do scripting using Python as a scripting. The thing that I didn't include in the curriculum. Okay, but it will be that I will let you know. So how to create an infrastructure using Python script. Also, we will let you know how to do this automated CI/CD automation using Groovy script and so on. Some minimum scripting is required. Okay, not too much extent as a developer. Okay, so what is cloud and DevOps? So cloud and DevOps, cloud provides us the infra, and in that infra you can, so our entire DevOps I am going to handle using AWS infra. So in AWS infra, we are going to make use of DevOps. Okay, DevOps and cloud computing have become two of the ways company can achieve this needed transformation. Though the relationship between two is not easily reconciled. DevOps related with process and process improvement. Cloud computing is a technology which provides the needed infrastructure for implementing DevOps. Okay, so you can consider these two things as a the wheels of a bicycle, so which is primarily togetherly used to develop an application and implement the application with the opposite needed efficiency. Okay, so here is a set of practices that combines the software development and IT operations. Okay, by using this opposite things. This is all about DevOps. Okay, so you can go through the salary and other stuff rather than having a DevOps separately and the cloud separately. If the two skills have been combined, and there is a probability that your salary will be hiked not less than 60-70%. Okay, that's the advantage of going for DevOps. So here I am not sure what salary that you are there in US. In my home city, in my company, for 5+ years of DevOps, here I am living in a city called Madurai. Okay, so here we are ready to provide up to 25 lakhs to 30 lakhs per annum for minimum 5 years of experience with cloud with DevOps. In India, this is the salary. In my city, if it is a metro like Bangalore, Chennai, or Delhi, Hyderabad, it will be again around 35 lakhs. So these are all the things that is associated with. Okay. So now let me start with what's the problem that we have faced. What is the problem that we have faced with the initial thing? Okay. So initially, in terms of your application development has been concerned, what approaches that we adopted? We adopted the following approach. First, we have started with traditional waterfall model of development. Waterfall model. Okay, in waterfall model, so our application is developed using various phases. The first phase of development is the requirement gathering. So who takes care of this requirement gathering? So the requirement gathering, so the business analyst will interact with the client. For example, so here, let I take an example. State Bank of India, SBI, okay, is going to develop an application. So they are going to automate that activity currently going on. So I assume they approach the Wipro. Okay, in this case, SBI is our client. So what are all the functionalities SBI want to make it automated? So what currently that they are doing, what sort of activities that they are doing, those sort of things need to be grasped, need to be interacted with the team of people working with the SBI by a business analyst. The business analyst will interact with the team and they will gather the requirements. So what are all the major functions? Assume. So SBI wants to develop a application for loan management system. So loan management. So loan management in sense we have a personal loan, and we have vehicle loan, and then we have these are all the sub models. We have so home loan, and we have education loan, and we have agri loan for agriculture products. So these are all the loans, several loans. Okay, so here these are all the sub models associated with the loan. So here, what sort of activity is needed? So what are all the functionalities that is associated? Those sort of things need to be gathered. Those informations need to be gathered. Then BA will take care of, interact with the client. It took minimum 20 to 30 days to complete this interaction to get an overall picture of what it is needed. And then based upon that the requirement gathered, then that requirement has been exposed to the technical, so the architects. Architects will design. Then second phase is the architectural design. So what should be UI? How in what manner the UI need to be there? And what's the business logic? So what are all the business logic that need to be implemented? Then what sort of database that we need to have? How many tables? What should be the fields and columns? How one tables need to be related with respect to the business logic? All those things will be done by architect. Architectural design. The design phase. Second phase is design phase. Again, it involves the team of architects, UI architects, business logic architects, database architects, storage architects, networking architects. Okay. So again, it is a matter of the entire team will design. So let me use Angular JS for this purpose with the following UI screens, and then let me make use of for our backend let me make use of Java for our background. And for database, let me make use of, since the data involved is more, let me make use of distributed database MongoDB. Like the architects will be design, architects will design the design. Based upon that, the thing that has been designed, the team will be formed. The development team, okay, the development team, and then the in terms of application development, in terms of UI, okay, and then in terms of testing, the team will be formed accordingly, and they start the development. The development process may runs to 4 to 5 months. Okay, the whole as a whole in this waterfall model with respect to this requirement. So entire applications, the entire loan management system with the above set 5 models will be developed. Okay, the parallelly they will develop. They develop everything. It took minimum 4 to 5 months, and after that, then the testing team will operate based upon the test cases. Okay, so once the development activity has been complete, assume 4 months of development and plus 1 month of testing. If everything is perfect, they perform some unit tests, they perform integration tests, they perform the performance and load test. Okay, and then everything is okay. They interact with the client. Once the UAT, user acceptance test, user accepted what are all the functionalities that they narrated to the business analyst has been implemented perfectly. Okay, it is fine. Let me implement. Okay, and in that sense, after this duration of almost 7 to 8 months of duration, that application will be the developed application, so will be implemented in the client environment. Okay, so this much of time. So when SBI approached Wipro in January 22, where application will be ready by August or September. In the meantime of 7 to 8 months, okay, so the applications functionalities might have been changed. Some new features might need to be implemented. The new functionalities, new so protocols and procedures might have been incorporated. Okay, so those sort of things maybe happened in the year. So for what reason SBI wants this application to be developed? So here for making the client happy by delivering the services in a quick manner. The client happiness is the one key mantra here. Okay, so then the application, for example, before making it automated, so SBI want to employ, so let me assume SBI want to employ 10 employees, so for the above said loan management. So let me assume the each employee cost is the salary for each employee is 1 lakh per month, and 1 into 10 it is 10 lakhs per month they want to spend. So if this application development took 8 months of time and 8 months of salary, 8 into 10, 80 lakhs that they want to invest for them. So what they want once the application, developing that application, I think developing that application, Wipro charges 1 crore. Okay, Wipro charges 1 crore. So when the application has been developed very quick rather than 8 months of duration, then the return of investment can be reached within a short span of time. So here, instead of this approach of waterfall model, if application has been developed within 5 months, let me take using some agile and using some DevOps approaches, what's the advantage? I can able to reduce the salary. So instead of 10 employees, so if it is developed in an automated manner, this thing can be managed using 2 employees. Therefore, my 8 employee salary, 8 lakhs per month into 4, almost 32 lakhs can be saved if my application development time has been reduced to 4 months. Okay, so as a result, my return of investment will be achieved within a very short span of time. So rather than adapting this model of development, waterfall model traditionally, in the early 90s up to 2000s, they followed this model. Okay, so which took a lot of time for developing applications. And after development also, we need to frequently upgrade the functionalities. We want to frequently revamp the code according to the requirement and so on and so on. This approach was not found to be a best approach. And then here, it took a lot of time, it took a lot of human efforts. Okay, again and again the development process need to continue. The entire application will be taken as a single entity, irrespective of any number of subcomponents. It will be taken as a single entity, and the development happens entirely. After the entire development has been done, then the testing will done. After that, it will be implemented. So it took this much of durations. To overcome from that, so we adopted Agile. You might have heard about Agile. So what Agile does? So Agile uses the approach of divide and conquer approach. Okay, Agile methodology. So this Agile approach. Agile software development again is a set of methods and practices where the solutions evolved through collaboration between self-organization and cross-functionality. Okay, so Agile software development here it is a iterative approach. That's the key thing. Again and again, it is an iterative approach to project management and software development that helps teams deliver value to the customers faster and with few headaches. Okay, so the earlier we faced with the delivery time, more delivery time, and a lot of issues associated with the delivery. Okay, here by using a group of software development methodologies, okay, that is based upon an iterative development approach. Here the solutions with respect to client's requirement can be delivered very fast, can be delivered phase by phase, rather than delivering the entire component. Then it will deliver the phase by phase. Agile continuous planning, continual development, continual implementation like thing. Okay. So here the main goal of Agile software development is to focus more on producing a working software and less on documentation. Okay. Whereas in case of waterfalls, the focus will be more on documentation and less on work, more and more time that it is needed. Okay, so now in case of Agile, what they does, so let me take the same example. So instead of developing this entire loan model as a single entity, this loan management system. So here personal loan, we have agri loan, we have home loan, we have vehicle loan, we have education loan. Out of these four models, they will prioritize which model will yield more income to them. Okay, so personal loan. Therefore, take personal loan as the first. The first develop this personal loan, followed with the home loan as the second. Third, okay, vehicle loan as third, and agri loan fourth, education loan as fifth. They will prioritize based upon their need. So then what that does, Agile will form a team. Again, yeah, the entire team, the requirement analysis, and then design, and development. Okay, and testing happens phase by phase. Let me take Agile. So they will form a team of members for every activity, and this process. Okay, so first model will be taken. The personal loan model will be taken. So for Agile, they will develop stories. They will develop what we call as a story. That is the functionalities associated with this personal loan, and who want to take care of what functionalities, what coding. So who is responsible for this particular part? Who want to take care of testing? Everything will be discussed, and it is framed. Okay. So in Agile, we so there will be a release for every 2 to 3 weeks. The model will be developed and it will be released 2 to 3 weeks. We call this as a agile story. Okay, there is a guy by name Scrum Master who takes care of coordinating all these activities. His responsibility is he takes care of coordinating all the team. Okay, the Scrum Master. Every day there will be a call in the morning. What to do on that day? Who need to do that activity? And every day there will be a closing call. So whether the activity as per as plan has been completed, if not, what's the reason behind that? Everything has been tracked and everything has been recorded. Therefore, instead of waiting for long duration, so the first model of personal loan will be taken, and assume that it is 2 weeks of development. At the end of 2 weeks, the client will be delivered. The client will be delivered with the personal loan model. The client starts working with the personal loan model, and the second priority, the home loan model will be delivered for every 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, we call this duration as a sprint. A sprint consists of 2 to 3 weeks. Okay, in that sprint, a particular model has been independent model has been developed and delivered to the client. Therefore, the client will receive a component of the management loan management system every 3 weeks once, so that rather than waiting for a longer duration of 7 to 8 months, this agile ensures that development happens in a very fast time. And then every 3 weeks once, the development team completes this activity and delivers this the project code, third project code to the operation team. Then it is headache to operation team. Operation team, with respect to that code that is delivered, they want to set up the infra, they want to set up the storage space, they want to install the needed application, the needed dependency software, everything. Operation team, there is a hectic work for operation team for every 2 to 3 weeks once. Normally, the operation team, they don't want to disturb the infra. Once the infra has been set up and the application has been installed, then it need to be disturbed. It need to run without any disturbances. But being that particular module developed using some tools, some dependencies, some databases, okay, operation team has a hectic work, and as a result, agile. What's the intention in going for agile? Develop the application and deliver to the client in a quick manner with high efficiency. It focuses on development perspective. It reduces the development time to great extent. Okay, it reduces the development time to great extent, but it gives less attention towards this operation team. And as a result, even though the application has been developed by the developers and tested by developers in a model by model, and delivered to the client, aiming and delivered to the client in a fast pace, because of the issues, because of the integration issues between the developer and operation team, that agile doesn't give enough attention to operation team. Then there is a lot of tussle, lot of complaint, lot of issues the team faces. Okay, also because they are struggling in implementation. Each and every 2 weeks once, the infrastructure need to be changed, the new set of tools need to be configured, and that's an issue. Okay, the operation team couldn't accommodate to the fast development. Therefore, even though agile ensures that the development quick and overall implementation and delivery resulted in some issues. To overcome from this agile, what they does. So here they follow an approach called DevOps. The DevOps, as we already told, here it is a continuous development, and it is a continuous testing, and it is a continuous delivery to the client. Okay, these are all the key things. We call the DevOps continuous development. The application has been developed continuously. It is continuously built. It is continuously tested and continuously delivered. Then end starts using continuously, and it will be continuous feedback. You will get feedback from client, and this process will be a continuous life cycle. Okay. So by the way of adopting this DevOps, what it aims at, as I already told, it aims at developing application in a quick time with high efficiency and with less cost. These are all the three key factors which involves in DevOps. Therefore, by employing manual resources, can be able to achieve. So we employ manual resources, more resources in traditional waterfall management, and we have more resources in agile. Okay, so here also the requirement analysis, design and development happens, but for that particular model, every model we have a separate process, and that duration of model, so totally it need to be developed within 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks 1 week of testing, and after 3 weeks it need to be delivered to the client. Likewise, phase by phase development activity, but it involves more humans, it involves more interaction. To overcome from that, how we can able to achieve this thing? The application need to be developed quick. By the way, so in agile, let me take 20 people involved instance. If I want to deliver fast, then whether I need to increase the people to 30 people. If you increase the resources to 30, then the cost will be more. So I should not increase the resource. At the same time, I should maintain my efficiency. My efficiency should not be degraded, and my cost should not be more. Then how I can achieve all those things? Again, by using set of automated tools. By using set of some tools, we can able to achieve. Every phases starts with the development up to the implementation. We can make use of these tools, using which you can able to achieve what it is needed. So what are all the tools that we are going to adopt, and how these tools are able to resolve the problem that we have faced with the operation team and development team to have a handshaking. We will discuss. I will let you know the tools today, and then what's the functionality of the tools, how the end-to-end process happens in DevOps can be continued on tomorrow. So out of which the tools that we are aiming at here is, so first thing is the version control system, version control tool, VCS. We'll be dealing with the Git, GitHub. These are all the two stuff that we will discuss. I will let you know something on GitLab laterly, GitLab. Okay. And then in terms of a build tool, so we will be dealing with Maven. So how to do build using automated manner using Maven. Okay. So we will take use of JUnit. So these are all the build tools. And then in terms of this CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous delivery, we will be dealing with Jenkins. End-to-end Jenkins. Here in Jenkins only, we will be dealing with some scripts, basic scripts, like Groovy scripts, by which this CI/CD process can be automated. What is CI/CD? How Jenkins achieves that CI/CD will be taught to you on tomorrow. And then, okay, after that, in order to make this configuration, automatic, so configuration as a service or infrastructure as a service, we can make use of Ansible to create this infrastructure. Ansible along with the Terraform. Okay, we can make use of infrastructure as a code, okay, this not as a service, infrastructure as a code. And then in terms of the infra, so we will be using this cloud as our infra. Here we'll be using AWS cloud. Since you are already aware of AWS cloud, we can make use of cloud. The basic services that you need to aware of, these basic services, EC2, the storage, EBS, CloudWatch, so load balancer, auto scaling, okay, like stuff. This stuff is enough for you. Okay, the infrastructure. And then with respect to this microservices based application development, we go for this the Docker and Kubernetes. With respect to this, the microservices based application, Docker containers and Kubernetes. And then, so in terms of monitoring, we will go for Prometheus, okay, and then Grafana. These are all the monitoring tools that we will aim at. And in terms of this application
So
monitoring,
what's the first tool? Prometheus?
Prometheus. Application monitoring, and then container monitoring, and then we will be going for ELK stack. ELK stands for Elasticsearch, which is a NoSQL database. L stands for Logstash, which is used for gathering log, which is Kibana, which is used for analytics in case if there is a intrusion. So what sort of, how to detect those sort of things can be done by using ELK, Elasticsearch. So Elasticsearch, it is not cache, Elasticsearch, Logstash and Kibana. And then we do some Python automation, some Python scripting also. Just a minute, I will be back. Okay, so here, so these are all the steps that will be covered.
One just second, where the puppet and chef will come into picture, just it
Yeah,
is in
instead of what
Jenkins,
we
right?
did here in this Ansible, you can use Ansible, Chef or Puppet.
And
Ansible is more commonly used.
yeah.
When we talk about in Jenkins, they call it as a pipelines, integrating things.
Yeah, this
That's
one. That is Groovy. Using Groovy script, you will create pipelines. Jenkins automated pipelines.
so, okay, great. Yeah, so we'll be going to cover those things. Okay, great. Yeah. Raman, don't take me wrong. I mean, beautiful this one. Here and there, my work from the work point of view, I may have some questions, but without disturbing the class flow, I will ask you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Whatever thing I know, I will convey. I will help you.
You know the answers. Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, Raman, what is this
I will
elastic?
if I don't know anything, give me some time. I will definitely let you know by learning those things.
Raman, don't have any doubt about that. You are speaking everything from your top of your head. Good.
And
Yeah.
Raman, so what is this Elasticsearch used for in ELK?
For storage, it is a cluster which is used for storing these logs that we have gathered in our containers. And the logs, it doesn't give any sense if you look into that. To make it meaningful, to get some insights and to deliver to the managerial people, okay, in a graphical manner, we go for this Kibana.
No.
It is
What is this? No. What is this
storage, storage.
Storing of logs?
Storing of logs gathered.
Okay. Does it also give information on it or just stores it? Or you can also search.
Elasticsearch is a storage similar to your database. It is a NoSQL data.
Oh, it's a database. Okay.
It's a NoSQL.
Raman, here let me add one statement. Here we are using Kibana, say one application, primary application. We are taking the logs of the product and trying to tell, okay, what is the problem and all. But I mean, I was not so impressed with this product because it's a kind of hit and run, may not be too. Are there any other products other than Kibana where our application logs can go in, where you can readily search by time to the pinpoint a particular time based on the error, other than Kibana?
You can write a PySpark. You can, if your logs, you have tons on logs, you can, instead of these Elasticsearch, you can gather those logs and you can use PySpark. You can write your own script using PySpark to do any analytics on top of it.
Okay, PySpark.
So where is Logstash being? What is the purpose of Logstash here?
It is running on the containers. The Logstash purpose to interact with the containers. Here we are dealing with these two things, Docker and Kubernetes, which is a microservices-based containerized application development.
Yeah.
Yes, the container where your application is running, your application will be running on your container. So the Logstash will interact with the container. It is an agent. It will gather the information, and this Logstash will have a underlying Elasticsearch. It will store those informations here. And by using this Kibana, you can write a script to do analytics on top of the information stored on the cluster, Elasticsearch.
Okay, I mean Logstash is the one that writes data into Elasticsearch.
Yes, it is an agent which gathers the log information.
Okay, who writes into Elasticsearch?
The Logstash will write into that.
Okay, Logstash
is an agent running on the particular container, and it gathers the information and stores the information. Where it will be storing? It will be storing in this Elasticsearch. Then what we can do with that information? We want to get some insights from that information. For that, we can write a Python script, PySpark script, any script, and by using Kibana, which is used to display this, writing script and display in a graphical manner.
Okay.
At that time, you will have a clear understanding. No issue.
Script and display.
Okay. So we can discuss all this stuff on tomorrow. We will be starting with our Git and GitHub on tomorrow. Okay, which is version control system. Along with, so we will be dealing with what is CI/CD, what is how you can achieve this infrastructure as a code and overview, and we can start with Git and GitHub tomorrow. So tomorrow I assure that we can start sharply at 7 a.m. IST, 8:30 p.m. EST without any delay. Okay.
Sure, Raman, one final question. So Elasticsearch is what, a NoSQL DB?
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
Which is used for storing logs. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow.